Okay, no one's typing. So we're going to move on. What else do we have today? Okay, some tips for success. And by the way, science is fun, just in case you were wondering. I think if you're in this class, you probably think so too. This is more of an elective, and so you're choosing to be in this class. So thank you. Oh, hi Trevor, welcome to class. Okay, I would encourage you to print out the syllabus that's on our class page, and that way you can mark those dates on your calendar or topics that we're going to have every week. And be sure to follow the due dates. Okay, if something's due, most of our classwork will be due on Monday night by midnight, since we have class on Tuesday. Okay, so when we get out of class, you will have all week, all Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the weekend if you haven't finished yet, and then even all day Monday. But Monday night at midnight, whatever has been assigned needs to be submitted into Dropbox, and it does date and time stamp it, so I will know when you turn it in. And also, a lot of times you won't be able to turn it in. I'll close the Dropbox at midnight on Monday night, and then you won't have that opportunity. So make sure you stay on top of it. Plus, if you get behind, it just makes the next week have more work. So you don't want to do that. Okay, we've kind of talked about office hour and how that's going to be very beneficial to you, as a student, to have extra time with me to ask questions and to get extra help, but also to hang out with the other students in a little more casual environment. And there'll be some extra fun to be had too. Okay, and then of course the best tip for success is to ask questions. I can't see your face. I'm used to teaching in person for many, many years, and I could tell by looking at the students' faces if they were confused, if they were, zoned out, if they weren't getting the information. And I can't really tell because I don't get to see your faces. So if if you don't ask questions through email, through the chat, through office hour, I just won't know how I can help you. So please, that would be the number one. I should have put that at the top. That's the number one thing. Be sure to ask questions. Are there any questions right now? Awkward moment of silence while we wait. Someone's typing. Oh, okay. Okay, so each week I would like to highlight someone. Now we're going to actually be in class for a lot more weeks than we have students, so this will run out of time. But as long as we have students, each week I would like to highlight someone to get to know them, for the class to get to know them. So I volunteered myself today, and then I will take a volunteer for next week. First person to volunteer in the chat gets to tell us about themselves next week. Any volunteers? This includes sending me a couple of pictures of yourself so that I can put it into my slideshow, and then maybe typing up something or coming on microphone to tell us about yourself. Anybody want to do that? Okay, think about it, because I really want to get to know y'all too. And I'll start telling you about myself. So I'm Mrs. Higgins, and I'm a wife, a mother, and a teacher. And then I guess I can give you a little more detail than that too. I know, the class is very quiet, Annie. So you'll notice a picture in the left corner there, or the top left. That's me and my husband, and his name is Riley Higgins. So we have had the pleasure of meeting Jeremy in person. We've known Jeremy for several years, even though he's in Pennsylvania and we're in Texas. I used to teach for another company, and I got to travel. So I didn't just teach online, I taught in person, and we traveled pretty much all over the US. I've been to probably every city or every state that y'all have been in for sure, and maybe even the city. I've been to Memphis, and yes, it's loud. I think someone said that earlier. Memphis is loud. But it was great. Loved Tennessee, North Carolina, Virginia, all these beautiful places, Georgia. So that's where I met Jeremy's family, and I have known him for probably 6 years. Hi, Jeremy. He's probably so embarrassed that I said that. Okay, then across from that is a picture of my two daughters, and they are walking some German Shepherds. Those are not our dogs, but my daughters have started a dog service where they walk the neighborhood dogs, or they'll bathe them, or even, take doggy photographs and frame them for their, owners. So that's just a cute picture I could find of showing you what little entrepreneurs that they have become. Then under the picture of me and my husband is my oldest son, Noah, and he is dissecting. Wait, I'm going to see if any of y'all can figure it out. What do you think he's doing? I'd probably the only one that would know this is Jeremy, because he knows what I taught. When I was a traveling teacher, I let my son Noah come to class in Ohio. So, and he might not know either. I don't think when Jeremy did this class with me, we didn't dissect the same thing. Not a fish. It's a mammal. And it's an unusual dissection. A lot of people don't. Yeah, it's a small picture. He's actually dissecting a mink. A mink. So it's in the same family as skunks and ferrets and otters. No, not otters, muskrats. They're probably not including the tail, but their body from head to rump is maybe about 14 inches. Okay, but they're kind of narrow. Yeah, so that's our grand finale dissection when I travel on the road. And then the last picture of the little surfer dude is my other son, Judah. So I have two boys and two girls. They alternate boy, girl, boy, girl. They are 10, 12, 8, and 7. So probably just a little bit younger than all of y'all and in class today. But that's my family. And like I said, besides teaching online, I teach in person most of the time, and I travel around teaching. So more about that as the year goes on. It's been great. I love my life as a wife and a mother and a teacher. Okay, so how the class will kind of work every week, besides having our live online classes, there's going to be things for you to do during the week. Most of our time in class will be spent me explaining the really tough concepts. Okay, so I'll expect you to read in your textbook beforehand. So if we're going to talk about chapter 1 next week, then I want you to read chapter 1 before. Okay, does that make sense? That way you already can come in with some questions that maybe you were reading it and you didn't get, or you didn't understand, or it seemed complicated. And then also you'll have a base knowledge to grow and expand on while we're talking. Okay, so you'll read in your textbook prior to us talking about it. And then after we've had class on Tuesday covering that material, then you'll have assignments for the next week. Okay, so on the left side there you see reading in your textbook. Also, while you're reading, it's a great idea to take notes. At the end of each chapter, there's a study outline, and at the very least, I would say just copy that down. If you're not good at note taking yet, at least copy down the outline that they give you. But then you can go from there. You can copy down the outline, and then as you read, make little extra notes of things that you don't want to forget, or you find intriguing, or you think might be really important. Okay. Each week, we're going to make some note cards. So I don't know if you've really seen the benefit of flashcards or note cards yet, but they're amazing. Okay, there was a time when I was probably around your age that I didn't get it. I'm like, what's the big deal, you know? But as I got into college, that was when the light came on, and note cards saved my life, my career, I think, in science. There's just so much terminology and, spelling and big words, that note cards or flashcards are very quick and very efficient in helping you learn that. Now you can do those, write them out with real note cards, or I'm going to show you a free online tool that you can make the note cards. And it's really great. I've made the chapter 1 note cards for you to show you how easy it is and all the different ways that you can use them to play games and to help learn. Okay, we already kind of mentioned the coloring pages when we talked about the coloring book. There'll be quizzes, and most of these are very short. I don't have a way of grading or knowing if you read your assigned material each week. So you have to take a quiz that's, 3 to 5 questions, very short, and that will let me know, hey, they read or they took notes. You get to use your notes on the quiz. You get to use any study questions that you have. So that should be an easy quiz for you and a way for me to grade to see if you've done that assignment. Okay, there will also, of course, the best part, there's going to be labs. Along with doing the lab, you have to write a lab report. So again, I have something to grade and a way to know that you're learning the material that I'm teaching. Then tests and some projects throughout the year. Okay, so now we're going to practice participating in an online class. So I am going to give y'all, let's see if I can give everybody the ability, oh no, where'd y'all go? The ability to draw. I think so. Okay, someone try to draw on that. I would like for you all to like circle or make a check mark or an X or whatever you can to draw on the state that you are in, that you live in. Hey, okay, good. I did give y'all the opportunity to draw. Someone just drew that black arrow. Who is that? Okay, you'll have to actually in chat tell us which one you're doing. Yeah, go ahead and draw on that map. All right, we've got some happening. Why is my, and then mine's not working. Huh. Marker, okay. Let me see if I can make a heart. Deep in the heart of Texas. That is a terrible heart. Got someone in Colorado. All right. Is that you, Trevor, or the other Hannah? Or either Hannah? Who's in Colorado? Hi, Hannah T in Colorado. So is it 8:26 in Colorado right now? Trying to get, I think you're in a different time zone. Maryland. Hi, Trevor in Maryland. Okay, so what we want you to do when you sign in is to actually put your first name and like a dash or a comma or something. I guess a dash is what they're using. And then the 2 letters of your state. Okay, so like Annie, VA, she's in Virginia. Grace T in Tennessee. So that's the best way. That's the way we really want you to sign in. And don't worry about it right now, but for next time, if you don't mind. All right, thank you for that. Practice drawing. Okay, now let's practice laughing. So if you'll go up to the top, you see a little person with his hand up, and then there's an arrow beside it, and click that arrow and it gives you some options. So I know you thought my joke was funny, and you're all laughing right now, so let me know that you're laughing. Yay, 4 people are laughing. Oh, someone raised their hand. Okay, so if you raise your hand, that means you have a question and you're trying to get my attention. And I can look over there at the list of participants. I think y'all can see this too. And I can tell who's laughing or who has their hand up. Okay, because if you found that humorous, then that's pretty funny. Ha, science jokes, right? Okay, so now I have some questions for you and we'll practice raising our hand. Unless Josh has a question and that's why, nope, that's not why his hand was up. Okay, raise your hand. First question, if this is your first online class. Raise your hand if it's your first online class. Yay, Hannah's new to online classes. I hope it's a great experience for you. Okay, hand down. Okay, so now you got, there we go. Raise your hand if you love to read anything, not just your science textbook, but if you're a book lover. Oh, hands up all over the place. All right, everybody but me and Grace. Got it. I wouldn't say I love to read. It just depends. Honestly, I'm like a read to gain knowledge, not read for entertainment, you know? Like, so I'm not sure if that offends people. I'm so sorry. I would not have raised my hand. All right, hands down for the next question. Yeah, go ahead and put them all down. That way I know who's raising it for the next question. Hannah and Grace, if you could go ahead and put your hands down for now, and then we'll see. Okay, great. So now raise your hand if you have more than 3 siblings. So if there's more than 4 kids in your family. Yeah, Jeremy's got like 17 or something. Okay, so Hannah and Annie and Jeremy, if you'll type in how many siblings you have, if you don't mind. Okay. You're right. I was exaggerating with Jeremy. Okay, hands down. And one more question for practicing the hand raising. Raise your hand if you've traveled outside of the United States. And then, of course, you're going to have to tell us where that was. Okay, go ahead, Hannah, and Annie, if you don't mind sharing. And Jeremy, I'll have to be honest, I didn't get your little pun. I thought you misspelled something. So thank you for clarifying. I'll be watching out for those from now on. Okay, Hannah is from China. All right, glad to have you in class. Hannah T has been to Canada. That just barely counts, but well, it is you have that technically counts. Annie went to Europe this summer. Awesome. I'm sure that was a great adventure. Okay, so I have been on a mission trip to Ethiopia, and we spent a day in Germany just because we could, because we were traveling anyway. So it's about the extent of mine. Okay, now we're going to practice some other things that are useful in online classes. Probably the rest of the class have practiced these before, but I think it was Hannah said she was new to online classes, so she definitely will need some practice too. There's something on my screen. Okay. So I'm going to switch layouts, so the room is going to look just a little bit different. Okay, so I've got multiple columns here and ways for you to participate. On the left, you can type in what your pet's name is. If you have lots of pets and want to share all of them, that's fine, or you can just choose one of your pets. In the middle column, that's what career are you, maybe I should say currently interested in. Maybe it fluctuates, but today, what career are you interested in the future? And then on the third one, what is your favorite season? And that is more of a poll that you get to vote. So go ahead and I'll give you a couple minutes to complete that. Okay. And then you can raise your hand to signify that you have completed all three. All right, someone's got several dogs and cats. I like that. Okay, we got Lucy, Shiner, Lola, Toby, Gloria, Jim, Scooter, and Wally. Socks. Oh, no pets. I'm sorry about that. Chara, Chara, Cara. Maybe I know Cara. Cara's a German Shepherd. Sadie, Kato, and Jack Black. Hey, I didn't see Tessa up there. No one wanted to. No one has a shiny chocolate lab named Tessa. Interesting. And so my dog is Shiner, and when it's quiet in the house, like right now, apparently I have a pretty good microphone. Okay, because I have a clock on the wall. I'm gonna move this camera. Okay, you see the clock on the wall? It's ticking. Raise your hand if you can hear that. Can you hear that? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe your hand was up for something else, but you can actually hear the clock ticking. When the AC comes on and goes off, you can hear that. And then my dog snores. He sleeps all the time and he snores and you can hear it. Let's see if I can find him over there. There, my house is kind of a mess. Shiner. Okay, I can't zoom on this camera, but he's a white dog on the floor with a fire handkerchief around his neck. Let's see. Okay, well, he'll come up to me periodically while we're teaching. So you'll probably see Shiner and you might hear him. He also does other things that are distracting during class, but I won't mention those right now, but you'll probably figure it out. Sorry. All right, that was pets. Now let's see what y'all want to do when you grow up. Law, no clue yet. Okay, more law, interesting. Author, poet, songwriter, yeah, all of the above. Or are you choosing one? I don't know. Art, animation, and filmmaking, very good. I've got a friend that does that in Colorado, but Trevor's not the one from Colorado. Anyway, he travels the world making films, and he's taught in the same companies that I have taught with before. So that's awesome. An EMT or a writer. Hey, Hannah T, you could write about your EMT experiences. You just have to change the names. That would be fun. I'd read it. Now that's something I'd read. Me, I want to be a science teacher. And guess what? I'm already being one. So let's living the dream. Living the dream. Grace, athletic trainer. Excellent. And then Hannah, pediatric cardiologist. Good. Or maternity nurse. All right. So not too many going into the medical field. Some of them might. So that's, I figured in this class there might be more going into the medical field, but that is fine. Maybe you will, and you just don't know it yet. Maybe. Okay, the favorite season, those are spread out more than I thought. So two people love winter. Where do the two people that love winter live? I just need to know. Who loved, oh, you know what? I don't have a chat open right now. I'll ask you when we get back to that other page. I would say that I love winter, but it doesn't exist in Texas. It's just, we just go from fall to spring, seriously. But when I was traveling, and I mean, I was in winter in all these other places, I pretty much hated it. So sorry about that. It was definitely number 4 on my list. I voted for spring. Spring isn't quite as exciting in Texas as it is in other places. I just love the the colors and the sounds and the smells, but mostly just the idea of newness. Yeah, that's my favorite. Of course, summer in Texas is blistering, and it goes on and on and on and on. But I do kind of like, I like all of them, except winter. I just don't have winter. Okay, thanks for participating. Let's go back over here. Okay, it hasn't quite been 45 minutes yet, but the next thing we do, anyway, I just think now's a good time to stop before we move into our little next activity. So it's 10:39. We'll go ahead and say 10:40. Take a 5-minute break and be back here at 10:45 to resume class. Well, or 11:45 or 9:45. What the minutes is all you really need to worry about. 45. Yes. Jessa. Oh man, Jeremy. Yes, I meant